So welcome to the another class. So in this video we'll read what do you mean by abnormal molar mass and Ventop factor. So you see the word abnormal is coming. What is the meaning of this abnormal molar mass? Normal molar mass we know, but what is the meaning of abnormal molar mass? The next is what is Ventop factor? Clear? So in this part we have read colligative properties. You know colligative properties, these are the properties which does not depend upon the nature of the solute particle, but it depends upon the number of solute particles present in the solution. Clear? So in the colligative properties we have read 4 colligative properties, and in all 4 colligative properties we have also read determination of molar mass of a solute. And all the 4 colligative properties are true when the solute is non-electrolyte. But when the solute is electrolyte, all 4 colligative properties are wrong. So you see, we have read 4 colligative properties, P1 naught minus P1 by P1 naught equals to Xi2. Then next is delta TB equals to Kb into molality. Delta TF equals to Kf into molality, and pi equals to CRT. So all these 4 colligative properties are true when the solute is non-electrolyte. Okay, suppose in this type, here suppose solute is sugar, solute is benzene. Okay, when the solute is glucose, so there is no problem because these are all are non-electrolyte. But when in place of suppose sugar, if you take sodium chloride, then all the 4 colligative properties will come wrong, and molar mass also it will come different. So this colligative property will come what wrong. So that's why the 4 colligative properties these are coming what wrong. This is due to following 2 reasons. One is due to dissociation, and another one is due to association. Dissociation and another one is due to association. First we'll take one example of dissociation. So dissociation, suppose when 1 mole of sodium chloride suppose dissolved in water. So when 1 mole of sodium chloride dissolved in water, it gives 1 mole Na plus and 1 mole Cl minus. So you see that's why total number of moles is 2 now. So number of particles increases. Suppose if you use this formula, so delta Tb equals to Kb into W2 by M2 into 1000 by W1. So if you take delta Tb here and M2 here, so if you put this, you see, so when number of moles increases means delta Tb become twice. So if delta Tb become twice, in this formula if you use, the M2 will come 29.25 U. But we know sodium chloride molar mass is how much? 58.5 U. Okay, so you see, so when sodium chloride dissolved in water, it dissociates into 2 ions. So the colligative property become twice, thus molar mass reduces to half. So this is called abnormal molar mass. Abnormal molar mass. Got the idea? Clear? So this is the meaning of dissociation. That's why I told this formula will come wrong. So now one question is coming to our mind. All formulas are wrong. So what we have read, wait how the formula will modify. Similarly, come to an example of association. Suppose you see when 1 mole of suppose acetic acid when dissolved in a benzene, non-polar medium. So when 1 mole of acetic acid dissolved in non-polar medium, you see acetic acid, it becomes what like this, CH3C double bond O OH. Okay, and here also CH3 C double bond O single bond OH. So this is called what? intermolecular hydrogen bonding, so it undergoes a dimerization. So here you see, when you will add, suppose if you will add 10 molecule, it behaves like a 5 molecule. Why? Now 2 molecule they are associated to behave like 1 molecule. So if you add 1 mole of acetic acid, so in this benzene solution, how many mole of acetic acid present? Half. So when half, then delta T be half. So molar mass will become, in case of acetic acid, the molar mass will become 120. But we know acetic acid molar mass is 60. Clear? So this is known as abnormal molar mass. Got the idea? So why abnormal molar mass is coming? When the solute is non-electrolyte, there is no abnormal behavior. But when the solute is electrolyte, yes or no? Abnormal behavior is coming due to dissociation and due to association. So from the dissociation, we got the idea. From the dissociation, molar mass reduces, and in association, molar mass twice. So that's why scientist Van 't Hoff, he thought that if you multiply something in this formula, is or no, then the molar mass will come normal. So that's why next part is, what is Van 't Hoff factor? Okay, so Van 't Hoff factor, its symbol is small I. Van 't Hoff factor, its symbol is a small I. So Van 't Hoff factor, it is defined as, it is the ratio of normal molar mass divided by abnormal molar mass. Normal molar mass divided by abnormal molar mass. This is in terms of molar mass. Clear? But you see, in all the formula, M means what? W2 by M2 into 1000 by W1. So molar mass is present in the denominator. So in terms of molar mass, it is coming normal by abnormal. So if you take in terms of colligative properties, that is called your abnormal colligative properties divided by normal colligative properties. Got the idea? Okay, so how many colligative properties we have read? 4 colligative properties we have read. So that's why the formula will come I equals to delta P, that is relative lowering in vapor pressure. Okay, so delta P, this is observed, by delta P calculated. Observed is abnormal, calculated from the calculation formula, this is normal. Similarly, which is equal to delta TB observed by delta TB calculated, or delta TF observed by delta TF calculated, or pi observed, pi calculated. So these are all our formula of Van 't Hoff factor. Clear? So I abnormal colligative properties by normal, but in terms of molar mass, it is abnormal by normal by abnormal. Clear? Hence, Van 't Hoff factor modified the 4 formulas like this into I, into I, into I, into I. Okay, check this. Again, all 4 colligative properties, these are what modified, means into I. So if you multiply I, then all 4 formula means in this formula are correct, and from this formula M2 will calculate, the M2 will come, normal value it will come. Okay, so from this, if you will take 3 part, you see I equals to 1, I greater than 1, and I less than 1. So when I equals to 1, the solute is dash, non-electrolyte. So non-electrolyte means we can say it neither goes association or nor what? Dissociation. But when I value will greater than 1, the solute undergoes dissociation. Less than 1, the solute undergoes association. Short question you will remember. So I equals to 1, non-electrolyte. I greater than 1, solute undergoes dissociation. I less than 1, solute undergoes association. Okay. So now You check this. Okay, so now question is how can you sir calculate I? So calculation of I for how can you calculate? So calculation of I. First one is for weak electrolyte. For weak electrolyte, how can you calculate I? And we know electrolyte undergoes association and dissociation. So first case, suppose for dissociation, how can you calculate? Okay, suppose one example, acetic acid CH3COH, when it undergoes dissociation, it gives rise to CH3CO minus plus H plus. Clear? And here initial 1 0 0 1 minus alpha alpha alpha. Clear? So I equals to dash the total number of moles at equilibrium. So I equals to 1 minus alpha plus alpha plus alpha. So alpha alpha cancel. So I equals to 1 plus alpha. Clear? So you see, so when solute undergoes a dissociation, then it will come 1 plus alpha. Okay. Similarly, when solute undergoes association, so when solute undergoes association, you see the formula. When solute undergoes association, B is for association, ASSOCIATION, association. So CH3COH, then it becomes what? CH3COH whole twice. Means two molecules behaves like one molecule. Clear? So here if you will put like this 1 0, or if you in this method also you can write 1 0 1 minus alpha by 1 minus alpha by alpha because 1 1, then it will be what? Alpha by 2. So here I equals to 1 minus alpha plus alpha by 2. So it will come what? 1 minus alpha by 2. Clear? So here when it undergoes association less than 1, dissociation greater than 1. Clear? And for these two cases, the general formula you remember. Okay, general formula. Here general formula you will write alpha equals to I minus 1 divided by n minus 1. And here general formula alpha equals to 1 minus I divided by 1 minus 1 by n. Clear? So what is n here? Here n is number of ions produced. So here you see how many number of moles of ions produced? 2. And here what is the n? Number of molecules associated. So here how many number of molecules associated? 2. Dimerization, suppose a trimerization. 3 molecules behaves like 1. Tetramerization. 4 molecules behaves like 1. Octamerization. 8 molecules behaves like 1. So that's why this is the general formula you remember. Here n number of ions produced. So you see, so for this part if you put this n is 2, so 2 minus 1 1. So alpha equals to I minus 1 or I equals to 1 plus alpha. You see this? Clear? So here n is what? 2 molecules associated. So 1 minus 1 by 2. So it is 1 minus 1 by 2. It is half. So if you simplify this, we will get this formula. So for weak electrolyte, we can calculate like this method. Dissociation and association. Greater than 1, less than 1. When dissociation takes place, solvent must be polar, and when association takes place, solvent must be non-polar. The important part. Polar medium, non-polar medium. Clear? Then last stage, for strong electrolyte, how can you calculate I? For a strong electrolyte, how can you calculate I? Now when the strong electrolyte undergoes complete dissociation, I equals to what? Total number of ions in a single formula unit. Suppose sodium chloride electrolyte. So when it undergoes complete dissociation, its I equals to 2. total number means if you break NaCl, it gives 1 Na plus and 1 Cl minus. So total how many ion? 2. So I equals to 2 MgCl2. So when it undergoes complete dissociation, it produces 1 magnesium and 2 Cl minus. So total how many ion? 3. So I equals to 3 LCl3. When it undergoes complete dissociation, so it gives 1 Al3 plus 3 Cl minus. So total I equals to what? 4. Got the idea? So when the solute is strong electrolyte, it undergoes complete dissociation, then direct you can use. And if you remember, in our NCERT question, in the NCERT book, when suppose in the question given strong electrolyte and I given, okay, so when I given in the question, I mean that I will use. Suppose sodium chloride, okay, we know its I will be 2, but in suppose question given I equals to 1.87, that means here sodium chloride does not undergo complete dissociation. So whatever I in the question when it will be given, that I will use, but when I will be not given, always you will use this format. So that's why in the 4 colligative properties, always you will use the formula into I, always into I. When non-electrolyte I equals to 1, automatically the formula reduces to first format. Okay, so clear? So this is the end of the solution chapter. So from this part, you thoroughly prepare this part. Okay, thank you.